Hello and welcome. You're with us here on Business Today. Joining us, Sumit Gupta, CEO, CoinDCX, on the latest tax, the nosedive in the crypto market, and lots more. Sumit, firstly, on the 1% TDS, we've been anticipating this, of course. We had heard from the regulator that this would be enforced starting this month. Talk to us about the implications of the same and how exactly it's really going to affect investors.
Sure, Aabha. The TDS of 1% on crypto assets started from 1st of July. And what it means is that any user who wants to buy any BDA, on the buy transaction, there is no TDS. But whenever a user is selling any crypto asset or a BDA, there's 1% TDS that is applicable. Means if you are selling Bitcoin worth rupees 100, there's 1%, 1 rupee that will be paid as TDS. What is important to note here is that this is the tax that can be claimed back, can be set off against your income taxes. So it can be set off, and apart from that, I think overall it's applicable when you're selling any asset. When you're buying, there is no TDS applicable.
Sumit, do you see this impacting investor behavior? And if so, how, in terms of how they choose to selectively strategize their investments in the crypto market?
So, Aabha, we have implemented the TDS on CoinDCX platform across all products. So, whenever any user is doing any trading activity on CoinDCX platform, the platform will automatically take care of the TDS component. So, users don't have to really worry about it. It's all shown in the product very transparently. So, users can see what is the TDS that is applicable, what is the fees they are paying. So, that is all there. In terms of overall user behavior, even though we have implemented the TDS as per the government guidelines, I personally feel the TDS of 1% is highly detrimental to the overall industry because it will suck the liquidity out from the market. The way, so we were doing some rough calculations, and, if you look at the overall picture, there are three stakeholders. One is the user, then the crypto platforms, and then the industry and the government, right? So 1% TDS is detrimental to everyone. The users will lose out because they'll have to shell out 1% extra while they are selling any transaction. They can claim it back, but it will lock their capital, which they were using otherwise for trading. Because the capital is locked, there will be less trading activity happening, and it is going to also hurt the government revenues, the tax that they will otherwise collect. I was just doing a rough calculation. For example, a person who starts with, let's say, a 10 lakh rupees of income, and if the person trades actively, the tax that government will get with 1% TDS is just 30,000 rupees on an annual basis. But if the TDS is, let's say, 0.01%, the revenue for the government will shot up by 30 times. That is more than 10 lakh rupees. So that is the quantum at what we're talking about. So 1% TDS is going to hurt the government revenues as well. I am of the opinion that the TDS should be as low as, let's say, 0.01%. With that, the government will still be able to trace all the transactions, will have full visibility of the trading activity that is done by all the users. Plus, it is not going to hurt their revenues as well. Plus, with 1% TDS, this is also not a great signal for the entrepreneurs or for the industry participants. And what can happen is that the trading activity or people who are working on Web3 can move to countries outside India as well. So, if you look at, from all the sides, the 1% TDS is not good for anyone, not for the users, not for the government, not for the industry, for no one, right? But what I think that if government can look at it or can reduce it to 0.01, or even look at something like a crypto transaction tax. We have STT, Securities and Transaction Tax, in equity markets, and government collects roughly around $3 billion every year. Just because of that, I think government can significantly increase the revenue by just applying appropriate TDS rates. 1% is very, very high in this market.
So, with the combination of the TDS, along with the fact that we've seen a lot of volatility in the crypto market, how is that playing out as well on investor sentiment? We've seen Bitcoin nosedive. We're continuing to see quite a hammering. Is there, a particular reason for this, or how would you analyze what's really happening right now?
Yeah, well, overall, all the markets are a bit choppy right now. Not just crypto, but even equity markets. I have, I was looking at the U.S. markets. They have gotten a big beating. Equity markets in India, I think, globally, all the markets are currently, going into a bearish phase. Crypto included. In crypto, I think, of course, with 1% TDS, that is even additional blow to the community as a whole. In terms of market, I think crypto market overall is right now moving sideways. So not much activity happening in terms of the price, and I don't know. It might continue, it might not continue. But overall, if you look at the sentiments, I think sentiments are largely the volumes have dropped. The volumes have dropped in the last couple of months, especially after the tax announcement. But I think the market activity can again rise if the market starts movement. But with 1% TDS is where I think retail investors are, and the community is a lot disappointed. And I think that might result into low trading activity, or people who are doing market making. They might not be interested in doing market making anymore. And ultimately, this is going to impact the retail customers. Ultimately, the retail customers will end up paying a higher cost because there's no liquidity in the market, because there are no market makers, and market makers would not like paying 1% TDS. So the way it is structured, I think that in the current scheme of things, that will suck the liquidity out of the market, and the trading activity might fall. But overall, as the market starts rising, or as we see Bitcoin showing some price moves, the activity might increase again.
Sumit, you talked about the next 6 to 9 months. When looking at investing in the crypto market right now, what should investors keep in mind? Do you expect to see any kind of relief in the interim or the near future? What do you expect? How long will this volatility continue?
See, I would not comment on the price. I don't know if the Bitcoin price will rise or not. I am in no position to comment on that.
Yeah.
What I am sensing is that overall market, because of the global macros, are in a times where there is uncertainty, right? We don't know how, in which direction the market will move. It might go down, it might go up. I'm not in a position to comment on that. But what I can sense is that the activity or the enthusiasm that investors were having 3 months back or 6 months back versus today, there's definitely a slowdown in that, primarily because of the tax, because of the TDS. And in the coming weeks, we'll know how users are reacting to it. But my sense is that because of 1% TDS, people who used to buy and sell actively, they might reduce their trading activity. Just one interesting data point, Aabha, I just remembered. We were doing some rough calculation. If you look at the overall crypto trading market, if you look at what is interesting is that more than, I think, 94-95% of the users are doing 10 trades in a month in crypto markets, right? And if you look at percentage of users who are doing more than 20 trades in a month, that will be more than 85%. So you can see how frequently people are trading or used to trade. But with 1% TDS, every time you make a trade, and if 1% capital is withheld, that is going to that will require more working capital for any trader. And if I start with 1 lakh rupees in the beginning, after placing 100 trades, I might be left with almost zero capital, which is going to be a huge blow to the industry. And as I mentioned, right, this is 1% TDS is not going to be beneficial for any of the industry stakeholders, not even the government.
Sumit, always a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you for sharing your thoughts on the same, and also giving us a sense of really what's happening in the crypto market, and a lot of news, of course, continuing there. We'll bring you all the latest here on Business Today. Thanks so much for watching.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.